Hello. Welcome to Questions and Coffee. This is going to be a little different. It's going to be really short, at least I hope so. Questions and Coffee is going to take a reset. I'm going to start a new series about biblical inerrancy or Bible inerrancy, and how that compares with modern critical theory. Specifically, I'm not talking about critical race theory or anything, but I'm talking about how Bibles are translated and used in Bible study today. It's very passionate to my heart. I've been studying this for a long time, about 20 years. My first episode will be about my credentials, so I'm not going to go into that now. I know that this YouTube channel is not super popular anyway, but I expect that many of you will tune out. This is not a subject that interests most people, which is why, really, that's why I'm doing it. When I talk about this subject with my friends and those around me that I think should, in my mind, care, they seem to tune me out, and maybe that's because I'm not doing a good job in those short conversations. I'm going to be intentional about making this subject accessible. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to be very clear, and I'm not going to use big words. And in fact, one of the problems I think with this subject is that it is almost like a conspiracy. It's so in depth, and there's so many different initials and different fancy words that are thrown around that for the most part, the average Christian just tunes it out. It sounds like a bunch of intellectual people arguing about things that don't matter. And so I'm going to try to talk at a lay level. I'm a lay person, so I don't really have a choice. I'm going to talk at a lay level. I'm going to try to stay at my level and not and really clearly define terms, but also not go overboard in using scholarly terms. I'm not a scholar, but I'm hopefully going to get to the crux of the matter. Hopefully get to the issue that really bothers me, and that's why it matters to us laity, why it matters to the average Christian, and what we can do about it, because there is very simple things we can do about it, but it's talked about over our heads, and we're almost looked down upon. In fact, we are looked down upon for caring about this subject, and so I want to try to combat that in any way I can. This is an effort in doing that. So over the probably next, based on my notes, 10 to 20 episodes, yes, that's a lot, I'm going to be addressing the different issues that go into Bible inerrancy and why it matters to the average Christian, the person in the pew, what we can do about it, and try to cut through a lot of the $10 words and try to really get this on a ground level, where we can make sense of it and where we can be intelligent about it. We don't have to be naive or throw up our hands on this subject. I think that it is something we should care about. If we value the Word of God at all, we need to come down, and that doesn't mean you have to agree with me. I'm going to lay out my sources. I'm going to be very intentional about giving you resources to look at so that you can see that I'm telling you the truth, and that the people that I'm quoting aren't wackos or conspiracy theory people. But I am going to be going against modern scholarship for the most part. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And I'm going to have to be very intentional about why and my sources for doing so. Okay, now what I'm setting out to examine is Bible inerrancy, which is the traditional Bible, the Bible that the church has always had. And we can easily determine that. And I'm going to show you how that's possible. It's available to everyone. You don't have to go spend $5,000 on books or $10,000 on a course at a seminary somewhere. We can easily take a look at this ourselves in just a few 10 or 15 minutes on one particular verse and see what is the traditional text, what is the traditional reading, what has the church always had as its Bible. Because I do believe in Bible inerrancy. I believe that God has preserved his word as he promises in the Bible itself. Why would God communicate with us and then not preserve it for us? And in the Bible, he actually says he will. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to give you those biblical references in different shows. We're going to walk through the history of the Bible very, very clearly, at a 20,000 foot view. This is not going to be an in-depth scholarly lecture course. I'm going to try to assemble this information. I have taught this before to middle school, or 8th and 9th graders. 8th grade is sometimes middle school, yes. 8th and 9th graders in the past, and they have gotten a lot out of it. So that's sort of where I think. So that's where I'm going to try to keep. But I have to be intentional because I don't think it's intentional by the people doing it, but I do think it's intentional by the enemy. That he wants us not to care about this, that he wants it to feel like it's over our head to understand it. And so I'm going to try to explain it the way I understand it on the 8th or 9th grade level and see if that doesn't help anybody who is interested in this topic get a better grip on it and know what they can do about it. Okay? All right, well, that's it. That's pretty much all I came out here to say today. Look for my videos in the future about this subject. I probably will change my logo right there that says Questions and Coffee to something different that maybe is better suited for the topic that we're looking at. And I'm also going to be changing this format here because a lot of times I'm not going to be looking at the Bible itself. I'm going to be showing you quotes and things and maybe even a whiteboard at some point. So I'm going to do my best to present it in the simplest and best way I can. I think that we, as just the average layperson, should care about Bible inerrancy and about which Bible we're studying, which version that we're looking at. This is not just to look at it. This is not a King James only thing at all. In no way. I do not believe that. This is just a simple way to say, do we believe in Bible inerrancy? Do we believe God has preserved his word? And are we acting like that when we go to study our Bibles and pick out a Bible to even study? All right. I think I did a pretty good job with that. We'll see. I'll talk to you later. Watch for the next show. I'm going to try to put out at least one a week on this subject. But I'm going to take my time because I want them to be thoroughly sourced. I want you to have plenty of, if you want it, in the notes, plenty of places to look and back up and see where I'm getting what I'm saying, and so forth. Okay, all right. Talk to you later. Bye.